Hey guys, hello. So, I'm glad to be back here with every single one of you. It's another Confession Friday, and today I want to share my experiences on suicide. I don't know how many of you have felt like ending your life, but have been there several times. I have been there. Let me start from the most recent one, then I'll see how far we can go. Early this year, I was under pressure. Now I was under pressure from work. The pressure from work made me feel like I'm a failure. The pressure from work made me feel like I am a disappointment. The pressure from work, when I mean work, where I'm working, my job, the company I work with, the pressure from work made me feel like the years of experience that I've gathered in sales and marketing, because that's my field of expertise, the years of experience that I've gathered in sales and marketing, I have not been able to translate it into where I'm working. So where everyone is looking up to me as their manager to turn things around. After the first 6 months of operations and COVID last year, and then COVID came and kind of distorted a whole lot of things. So we managed to pull through. Entering this year was supposed to be a promising year for us. But things didn't turn out the way I had planned it to. And I felt like a failure. I felt like, why am I even here in the first place? Why did I get this job? Why did I take this job in the first place? I felt like resigning. I felt like quitting the job. And there are days that I would come back home and I would not feel like leaving the house and stepping out of the house to work. So all in a bid to distance myself, I went ghost on everyone. I went ghost on my family members. I went ghost on my friends. I became silent everywhere on social media, so that way, if I die, no one would know when it happened. No one would try to save me. There were days I would keep on thinking, what if I die now? What would I be remembered for? There are days that I've come back home and I imagine, okay, if I die now, how would they know that I am dead? How long will it take for people to realize that I am dead? There are days I've thought, okay, if I die now, what will happen? Who will miss me? In fact, there are days I ask myself, why exactly am I waking up? Why am I waking up every morning? Is life all about waking up and going to a job that I cannot produce results? Is life all about waking up getting married. People are waking up, getting married, settling, going. Is that all about life? I felt, I began to feel empty. And in all that emptiness, I distanced myself from a whole lot of persons. About 8 years ago, while I was still in the university, first of all, 9 years ago, before I entered university, I struggled so much with failure. No, I did not just struggle with failure, I became a failure. For those in Africa, especially West Africa, it's an exam we usually write when you're done with high school and secondary school, and that is WAEC. And then for those in Nigeria, there's also an exam to write, that's NECO. So when I was leaving secondary school, I knew that my last 4 years in secondary school was a waste. I just knew it, that my last 4 years in secondary school, in high school, was a waste. If you would ask me what I was taught in biology, I would not remember. If you ask me what I was taught, I was just going to school just to pass exams. I wasn't even reading. I wasn't even preparing for any exams. So the failure was glaring. So because of that, I wrote WAEC and NECO. I wrote it 5 times. So I remember there's a course I wanted to study. So because I loved business, I was looking for other courses to study. I was looking to study. I didn't really have any flair for business management though. I just wanted to go out, make money, do business, sell. So I wanted to study marketing, but one of the requirements for marketing was mathematics, and that is what made me even write WAEC up to 5 times. WAEC and NECO up to 5 times. And my dad, my father, my biological father, looked me in my eyes and told me that I should forget about it. That I should go and do theater arts. Because at first, I had applied for theater arts. Because I did not want to, let me just go to school, get a degree, and then go and do business. Or let me go to university and study a course that will be less stressful, that I will not need to read so much. Because at that point I already felt like I'm not intelligent. I already felt like I don't have a brain. I no get brain. That's how I felt. So I had gotten the admission the first time in a way, but I lost the admission. So applying again. And that told me, apply again for theater art. Don't even think of marketing. And he made reference to my failures in mathematics. So what I knew deep down inside of me, that I wanted to do marketing. So against all odds, I still went for it. And when I entered the university, I told myself, it's time for a fresh start. The past is behind me. It's time for a fresh start. I made up my mind to be serious. And as God will have it, my first year, my grades were very high, that I was the highest. I was the highest in my set, just in my year 1, just in my first year. But towards the end of my first year, there were lots of distractions. So going into my second year, my grades fell. I saw my grades falling so bad. I knew that the next thing would be to be put on probation. Like, how does that happen? Who does that? So those thoughts of being a failure came back again. It came back again. I remember when I went to the notice board and I saw my result. I saw F, I saw E, I saw D, I saw a C. I couldn't even find an A. I felt like committing suicide. I just felt at that point that I'm a failure and I can't do this. School is not for me. School is a scam. School is not for me. I stopped paying attention to school. I was already thinking of dropping out. Because I didn't know how I would go back and tell my parents that, look, my grades were high in the first year, but in the second year, they are nothing to write home about. I already knew the look my dad would have given to me. I told you so. Three years ago, when I was preparing for my professional exams, there was this particular course that I was preparing for. I felt it was a simple course. In fact, it was a simple course. I was even participating in class, answering and asking questions, But when it was time for the exams, I didn't really prepare so much. It was because of that I didn't even prepare so much for that particular course. So I spent time preparing on every other one. So on the day to the exams, I spent time reading all the materials that I had. Not all the materials that were available. Because I felt it was a simple course, I did not bother myself to get other materials. So I spent time reading my notes and the materials I had. I remember reading during the afternoon, then slept, then woke up around 11 p.m. and I began reading, and then I read till about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And when I was done reading, I picked up past questions and I began to attempt it. I looked at the first question paper. I was blank. I picked up the second question paper. I glanced through. There was nothing I could attempt. I picked up the fourth question paper. Of all the questions there, I could only answer one. When I picked up the fifth one, tears were already rolling down my eyes. I thought to myself, why did I even begin this school? There was there was nowhere that I could go and get materials by 2 a.m. and prepare for an exam that I had by 8 a.m. It means I just wasted my time reading badadash, reading what is not necessary. I wanted to drop out from professional school. I was already in tears in my room. I was already in tears. I remember picking up my phone and sending a message to a close friend of mine, telling her what was going on. That I felt that I felt like committing suicide, and at that point I just wanted to drop out. I was already thinking, is it possible that I would not even show up for these exams? I just wanted to disappear. You see, failure and pressure are two out of other things that causes suicide. Depression also leads to suicide. If you listen to my previous podcast on depression, so that I won't talk about that one again. The things that made me depressed, each time I was depressed, I felt like committing suicide. Failure, pressure, depression. Those three things are what drives us to have suicidal thoughts, amongst every other factors. But one of those days, while I kept on asking myself, why am I waking up every morning? What is the need of me waking up? For what reason am I waking up to see a new day? For what reason? Then I stumbled upon purpose. I stumbled upon the reason for my existence. And I came to realize, and since that day till now, I won't tell you that the suicidal thought has ended totally. No, I won't tell you that the depression has ended totally. No, but each time those suicidal thoughts come in, because it's all about a mind game. It's all a mind game. It's all in your mind. That's why it's called suicidal thoughts. So, and these thoughts didn't just metamorphose in our head. We have watched people, we have watched the news, we've watched movies. We've seen how people committed suicide, how people ended their lives because of a particular situation, because they were helpless, because of stress, because they felt a sense of loss of control over their life, because of pressure. We've watched it in the movies, and you see, the things we watch and the things we hear are gateways, a point of entrance into our mind. So those images, those sounds have entered our minds. We've heard news, it has entered our minds. And one day when we saw ourselves going through the same situation that we watched or we heard somebody going through, we will remember. You see, when we are trying to find a solution to that situation, we will remember what the person did, that the person committed suicide. And so we will start having suicidal thoughts. Why? Because that is what we have already been informed about. We've already been informed that the way out of this is to end your life. I've been helpless. There have been days that I have really been helpless. 4 years ago, I embarked on an outreach. When I was going for the survey in a strange community, I was totally stranded, helpless at the point of need. I knew no one there. There was no way I could be helped. When I failed in school, I was totally helpless. No one could help me. I spoke to people about it. Nobody could help me. I've already recorded a podcast on insecurity. These are things that make us feel and develop suicidal thoughts. I've already recorded a podcast on insecurity, so I won't talk about that. So I have also felt insecure. I've spoken about stress and pressure earlier on. I've felt a sense of loss of control over my life. There was a particular time I felt like, am I really in control of my life, or is it people that are controlling my life? Events were just overtaking me and I didn't even know what to do. You've already heard about my family. In some of my podcasts, I've spoken about how I didn't feel loved. How at a point I felt like maybe I am an adopted child. Maybe I am an adopted child. No encouragement from family at all. None. Listen to me. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. At the age of 2, I was molested. As a guy, it's called sexual assault. I was sexually assaulted at the age of 2 by the young girl that was taking care of me in my own house. Thinking about that, there was a point that I was dealing with that thought. When I was in primary school, I had a particular teacher who noticed that I was failing maths. Neither was my dad even helping me in mathematics. My dad is a math genius. You see, when I was failing in school and when I was writing work exams, at a point I began to develop hatred for my dad. Why? Because this is a man that is a genius in maths, and why am I dumb? Why am I struggling in mathematics? Okay, sir, help me. And he wasn't having time. He wasn't having my time. Back in primary school, I had a particular lecturer. He would constantly flog me. He was always on my matter. He made me feel like I am stupid, like I am dumb, like I have no sense. I would always remember him hitting my finger with a ruler. I would not forget that image. That image stuck. I've shared my life event already. Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. The reason why you are awake, the reason why you are alive, the reason why you are listening to this podcast right now is because there's help for you. If I am still alive, and trust me, I say this with all boldness, I will not take my life by suicide. I cannot die that way. Oh, my life is important to my generation. I have discovered that there's a reason why I was brought into this world. I don't care if you're a mistake. I don't care if your family loves you or not. You know my experience. I don't care about that. I don't care if you're a biological mistake. If you were born out of wedlock, I don't give a damn about the background of your family. What I am much more interested in is that your life is valuable, your life is important. But you need to do something, because you see, the end of your life is the frustration of a generation. You have been allowed, see those experiences that you've gone through, those negative things that you've gone through, everything that you've gone through that is making you feel like ending your life. I checked the statistics recently. The statistics of men that are committing suicide in the world is outrageous, much more than women. Much more than women. I know the pressure is hard, but listen to me. There's a reason why you are on this earth. There's a reason why you are alive, and your life cannot end by suicide. If you end your life, you are ending the destiny of a generation. There's a reason why you are alive. Oh, you may not know the reason now, but trust me, when you discover that reason, you'll be glad you did not end your life. You'll be glad you did not end your life. When I discovered the reason for my existence, I was glad that all those times that I had the suicidal thoughts, that I fought it. And I am telling you right now, fight those thoughts. Fight those thoughts. You can fight them. Your parents will miss you. Oh, your mother, I don't care if your mom is alive or not, but guess what? Wherever she is, your mom went through pains carrying you in her womb for 9 months. She went through pains. Whoever your mom is, whether you know your mom or not, your mom went through pains. I don't care how you came into this world, but the woman that carried you in her wombs for 9 good months, I don't care if you were premature, I don't care if you had a premature birth, but the woman that carried you in her womb went through pains. And as long as you were not aborted, it means you fought. As long as you did not die on the process of childbirth, you have been fighting before you came into this world. 1 billion sperms we are looking for a way to come out, and you fought and you won and you came out. Hey young man, you already won the fight as a sperm. You will not lose this fight as a matured man. If you did not lose the fight as a sperm, you will not use this fight as a man, as a being, as a formed being. Listen to me. Your life is very important. If you end your life, then you have wasted the reason why the woman carried you in her womb. Then you have made her pain to be valueless. You have made her pain to be nothing. So in case you think that no one will miss you when you die, remember the woman that carried you in her wombs. She will miss you. She may not regret, but your suicide, your death might lead to her death if she's alive. You may not feel like you are a role model right now, but listen to me. You see those experiences that you have gone through? Those experiences that you have gone through, you were allowed to go through them for a purpose. Every young man right now is currently dealing with suicidal thoughts. Do you know what will happen if you fight and win? Hey, I can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. The Confession Friday is coming to an end. My story is coming to an end, but your story is about to begin. I can't do this alone. I started reaching out to men when I realized that no one is paying attention to us as young men. The women have been empowered. Who is empowering the men? The women have been educated. Who is educating us? The women have been saved. Who is saving us? Oh, I've gone through my experiences and I'm here to tell you that I cannot do this alone. I need you. I need your story. I need you to fight, because if you fight and you come out, see, remember, I am not even perfect. Some of these things I share with us, I'm still going through them. I'm still dealing with them. But you see, it is the boldness, the courage to even speak, to be naked and unashamed, to even speak in the midst of dealing it, that I'm sure and I'm confident that I cannot lose this battle of life. I can't do this alone. I need your story. Oh, if you win this battle, if you win the suicidal battle, do you know how many men you will save? The experiences that you have gone through that has led you to having and thinking of suicide. I don't have all the experiences in the world. My experiences are limited, but compared to what you have experienced, imagine if you survive. Imagine if you tell yourself, I will not commit that suicide. Rather, I will share my story. Okay, let's do it this way, just in case you're listening to me while you are about to even commit the suicide right now. Let's do it this way. Let's make a deal. If you want to go ahead with the suicide, that's fine. But please, before doing it, share your story. Share your story, and if your story doesn't transform a life, you can go ahead and commit the suicide. The experiences that you've been allowed to go through is not for you alone. You are a light. You are still alive because you've survived those scars. Your scars are a proof that you've survived those experiences. Oh, you may not have the solution to it right now, but trust me, help is on the way. Help is on the way. 3 days ago, I felt like giving up, but I'm still here. I'm still here talking to you, and I will still be here talking to every single one of you. Those experiences that you've gone through, there are many persons also that will come up, that are coming up, that are also going through those experiences. I may not be able to reach them, but you will be able to reach them. Many of them are connected to you. So why end your life when your story can change your life? Why end your life when your mess can become a message? You are here on this earth for a purpose. And don't be deceived that suicide is the end of life. No, suicide is not the end of life. Suicide is the abortion of life. Oh! If the woman that carried you in her womb did not commit abortion for you, why? What gives you the right to commit abortion right now? I'm going to leave us with this finally. One of the things that has really helped me also while dealing with this is that I have a friend. No one. I have friends that I talk to whenever I'm feeling depressed. Each time when I came to realize that I had to get friends, there are people I talk to. I call them covenant brothers. I'm a guy, so I also have male friends. See, earlier on, I had female friends. So the period of my professional exams, it was a female friend, someone very close to me. I sent her a message and she was constantly on my matter. Immediately after my exams, she called me and told me, "Where are you? Come over to the house." I went in, I cried. But I was okay. I have 3 close friends right now, guys that I talk to. Recently, I was just sharing with one how this month has really been frustrating. You see what happens when you share also. Don't say you don't have someone that you can trust. Find the person. You may not even have 3. Start with 1. Meet the person. Make the person your accountability partner. Make friends. Not so much. Even if it is one person that you can always talk to. If you don't have anybody and you don't feel like you can trust anybody, I am making myself available to you. Reach out to me and share. And talk to me. Make me your accountability partner if you don't have anyone. You see, a friend loves at all times. And a friend sticks closer than a brother. So guys, I'd like to hear your story. Feel free to reach out to share your experiences with me. Feel free to reach out to share what you're going through. If you have no friend, I'm here. I'm willing to be your friend. You can reach out to me. Reach out to me via email or reach out to me via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, whichever platform works for you, and I'll reply immediately. My email address is anainyang01@gmail.com. I'll spell it ANAINYANG01@gmail.com. I'll take that again. ANAINYANG01. That's the figure, not it's written out in figure. 0, number 0 and number 1 at gmail.com. My Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter handle is anainyang. ANAINYANG. Reach out to me. Let's help. Let's help each other. And let's do this together. Till I come your way next time. It's my desire that just as I fought, you will also receive the strength to fight. Remain blessed. Okay, so before I go finally, like I said, my confession series will be ending. This may be the last, or I may still have, I don't know how it goes, how it would go, but the Confession Friday, my story would probably end, but yours will continue. So the Confession Friday would go on. There would be another season, but this is the end of season 1 of the Confession of a Young Man. This is the end. So season 2 will kick off, but season 2 will kick off with the Confession of Young Men. So the Confession of the Young Man season 1 is ending. Season 2 will be the Confession of Young Men, the Confessions of Young Men. So on this podcast every Friday, from the month of October. Okay, next week Friday is even October. Okay, so for the month of October, it's going to be a series of young men sharing their stories on this podcast. You get to hear what other persons are going through also out there. You see, young men, we don't like talking, so I'm giving a platform. I'm giving the voice to young men out there to share. So I'm inviting you also have all this drop my email and my Twitter and my social media handle. Reach out to me if you also want to be featured on this. You can stay anonymous. Nobody needs to know that you are the one. You may not be as bold as I am to say my name and everything, but you can remain anonymous. That's left to you. However, another podcast season will be launching soon. And it's going to be titled Shape, Discovering Your Purpose. Shape, Discovering the reason for your existence. I've not really gotten everything about it, but just know that it's going to be about your shape. Why are you here? The title might change. They say where I work, I can say something now, and when it's time to implement it, I get a fresh inspiration for it. Yeah, so the title might change, but look out for the next podcast. Yes, that particular podcast will be airing. That particular podcast. Okay. I wish I can tell us the particular day that it will be airing, but it will be airing soon. It's coming out soon. So just watch this space. Watch M2M sessions. You need to know the reason why you are here. I have found mine. I know why I'm here. So I'm going to help every single one of you. Last year, doing an online interactive session which I host for young men to give them an opportunity to share their struggles, ask personal questions and get solutions, ask real life questions and get real life solutions. I made mention that I was going to be writing a book on how to discover your passion and your purpose. So we are going to start first of all with an audio podcast, with a podcast session before the book launches. So watch out for this space. That podcast will be coming also because, like I said, when you know why you are waking up every day, suicide will not be among the option. All right, finally, till I come your way next time, I send my best regards to every single one of you.